Several emergency warnings are still in place across New South Wales as the state deals with the latest round of wild weather. Thousands of homes are still without power, while some residents on the south coast have been cut off by flooding. The SES says it's answered more than 1,300 calls today, with another night of rough conditions still to come.
More than 30,000 households woke up without power this morning. It's easy to see why. Wind gusts of up to 100 kilometers an hour wreaked havoc across the state, with fallen branches and uprooted trees triggering huge numbers of calls to the SES.
There were thousands, literally thousands of transport, train, SES and electricity crews that worked through the night.
On the south coast, around 200 properties have been affected by flooding at Bureau Lake.
This is the worst event that we've experienced.
It's caused quite a lot of damage to the houses. Our building is okay, but yeah, unfortunately our power is off. So we're going to lose a lot of produce.
Other places are struggling to get produce in. Currarong's 400 residents have been partially cut off since this road behind me flooded overnight. It's the only lifeline for this community, with several elderly people who rely on it for groceries, medicine and more.
We don't have a store, we don't have a doctor or any other facilities, so if you can't get through, you're stuck.
One woman there didn't want to drive through it today, but had to because she had to get to work and just take the risk. But that creek's running in the way that the SES says we shouldn't drive through.
It's a message that was repeated again today.
There have been multiple car crashes, and we're asking people to please take care on the roads.
An evacuation order is still in place for parts of Wombrel on the Central Coast, where erosion is threatening beachside properties. Waves reached up to 13 meters in some places, with Kiama's famous blowhole putting on a show. But not all sightseers were so lucky.
We're trying to see kangaroos, but there's no kangaroos today.
Just the damage from a storm that's been giving everyone a devil of a time. Nabil Al-Nashar, ABC News.
Well, let's go live now to Nabil Al-Nashar in Kiama. Nabil, has the danger passed there?
Well, there's been heavy rains. We've been pelted with heavy rain over the past few hours. It's eased up a bit now, but there's still some really strong winds, Nick, strong enough to bring down trees and cause serious property damage. There's still currently flood warnings in Nowra, just 30 kilometers southwest of here, and in St. George's Basin, just 50 kilometers south of here. Further up north, there's still a lot of people without power. Power has mostly been restored down here at the south coast, but over 9,000 people still are without power in areas surrounding Gosford, Wyong, and the entrance, also around Kurrambong, Mandalong, and further up west of Nelson Bay. 2,000 emergency crews, including SES, have been responding throughout the day to many different jobs. Over 1,300 calls for assistance across the state just since this morning, and their advice remains the same. Stay clear and avoid floodwater, rivers and creeks. And if you do get stuck, call for help.
Good advice, Nabil Al-Nashar in Kiama. Thanks for that. Well, there has been some damage in Sydney. The city largely survived unscathed today. Let's bring in Digby Werthmuller, who's live at Sydney Harbour now. Digby, is the weather easing up?
Well, despite Sydney experiencing the heaviest July rainfall in 3 years, it seems that we're through the worst of it as that low pressure system weakened today. In Manly, it was the perfect storm for surfers today, with many taking to the waters. Other areas off Sydney's coast also saw waves of up to 10 metres. But while these conditions ease tonight and into tomorrow, officials are still urging caution. Water for New South Wales predicts that the Warragamba Dam will experience a moderate overflow overnight, and in Cronulla, a small portable building was blown off a building site and into the path of traffic this morning, while the city's rail network experienced significant delays and disruptions as a result of a number of downed trees. The State Emergency Service has currently 8 flood warnings in place across the city. So look, Nick, there's certainly still some cause for people to remain alert tonight.
OK, Digby Werthmuller live at Sydney Harbour. Thanks for that. Let's check in with our meteorologist Tom Saunders now. And Tom, rain has returned to Sydney tonight and a warning continues for dangerous winds.
Nick, while it's safe to say the worst is behind us, there is still a sting in the tail of this weather system. The two main centres of this deep low are rotating clockwise around a common axis, and this southern node will make a final pass up the coast tonight. That follows a more intense centre last night, which generated a wind gust of 130 kilometres per hour at Werthmuller, equivalent to the strength of wind from a Category 2 tropical cyclone. Port Kembla recorded a maximum wave of 13 metres, while the top 24-hour rain total, 224 millimetres at Ulladulla, a July record for the town. And it's not quite over just yet. Another massive thick cloud has pushed back onto the coastline. And on the radar, widespread rain returned to the south this afternoon, and it's now spreading north through Sydney. However, it's the wind and surf which is still a concern. Another burst of damaging gusts for the coastal fringe overnight, along with the northern ranges. And a warning continues for coastal erosion, maximum waves still exceeding 10 metres off the south coast.